This famous superstar, an all-time immortal in his sport, is the subject of the bonus biography round on the Sports Challenge. Competing today, last week's winners, the champion basketball Hall of Famers, George Mikan, Bill Sharman, and Dolph Shea. This week's challengers are the Yankee World Series heroes. Winning pitcher of 7 World Series games, he's now president of Baseball's American Association, Allie Reynolds. Holder of more World Series records than any pitcher in history, Whitey Ford. All-time baseball great home run record holder for World Series play, Mickey Mantle. And now, here is your host on the Sports Challenge, the award-winning voice of the Rams and the Angels, Dick Enberg.
Thank you, Johnny Gilbert. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Sounds as if Mickey Mantle has a few friends here with him on Sports Challenge today. Our champions are the NBA Hall of Famers, Big George Mikan, old number 99 of the Lakers, and Bill Sharman, who a lot of people forget was a baseball player, too, and was in the Dodger dugout when Bobby Thompson hit that home run in 1951. And Dolph Shea is perhaps one of the best all-time, working that ball inside, could shoot with either hand. And they'll be challenged by the New York Yankees, and they picked up a few extra bonuses with those World Series. Allie Reynolds, who used to close a lot of deals, he would finish well, and one of the great pitchers of all time. Whitey Ford, who owns more wins than anyone ever in those pinstripes, and a man named Mantle we're happy to have back here on Sports Challenge. Welcome back, Mickey. I imagine you've schooled your partners today and you're ready to go.
All set?
All right. We hope you have fun. Each team is competing for $1,000 worth of AMF Voigt sports equipment. Runners-up play for $500 worth. And, Johnny, for what youth groups are today's teams playing?
This week, the Basketball Hall of Famers are playing for the Boys Club of Manatee County of Bradenton, Florida. And the New York Yankees represent the 68th Precinct Youth Council of Brooklyn, New York. Voigt has been a leader in sporting goods for 50 years. All sports from basketball to bowling. Whatever sports equipment you need, you have more fun with Voigt. Dick?
We'll begin our first category, the award winners, and a highlight from the brilliant career of Wilt Chamberlain, right after this Sports Challenge timeout. Sports Challenge, the NBA Hall of Famers against the New York Yankees. Ready, men at the buzzers. Here's our first question. Toss-up worth 20 points. If you get it correctly, you earn the 10-point free throws. The category, the award winners. And we begin with a man who has been named the most valuable player in his sport 5 times.
1967 NBA playoffs. Wilt Chamberlain of the 76ers, again the National Basketball Association's most valuable player. But the playoffs have been Boston's realm, featuring the play of Big Bill Russell. The Celtics and Russell have been the game's dominant force. But 1967, a lucky year for number 13, Wilt Chamberlain, as he sparks the 76ers to the NBA title, breaking Boston's playoff stranglehold at 8 in a row.
Chamberlain is a 5-time winner of the NBA's Most Valuable Player Award. For your toss-up in 20 points, name the one other player who has been named MVP of the National Basketball Association 5 times. The Yankees were there first. Whitey Ford.
Bill Russell.
Bill Russell is correct for 20 points. So Whitey Ford beat the National Basketball Association team at their own game. You've earned the free throws. Nicely done. This is for one of our guests with the Yanks. If no one else has done it, Sports Challenge Mickey Mantle will now designate you as the all-time tape measure hitter in Major League Baseball. And here's one of the reasons for our choice.
Freddie Green on the mound for Pittsburgh. Mickey Mantle at bat in the World Series. A fly ball deep to right center field. Mantle has really tagged this one. Clemente will be nowhere near it. That's over the wall. A long drive for Mickey Mantle, a tape measure home run. Roger Maris will score ahead of him. The Yankees lead 5-1. The tape measure next for Mantle.
That homer later was estimated to have traveled almost 500 feet, worthy of the Forbes Field tape measuring equipment. What one do you think you hit farthest of all? With all the ones we've read about, which one do you remember as the longest?
Well, the one that they measured in Washington, they said went 565 feet. But I think the hardest ball I ever hit's one almost hit out of the Yankee Stadium.
You got them all, nevertheless, and it was a frightening sound for the opposing pitchers. Your question for 10 points, Yankees. Can you name the stadium that is the new home of the Pirates in Pittsburgh?
Three Rivers Stadium.
Three Rivers Stadium is correct for 10 points. Your second free throw, the category award winners, and this winner in pro football, where he has been both successful and controversial.
Vikings a commanding lead, 45-14 over the Colts. Joe Camp rolling to the left and looking downfield. He plants and fires over the middle for halfback Jim Lindsay. He's open at the 5. He's got it, and he's in for a touchdown. And ladies and gentlemen, that ties the National Football League record. 7 touchdown passes thrown by quarterback Joe Kapp here for the Vikings today. And interestingly, that judge, Adrian Burke, on the field right now is one of 5 men who have completed that feat.
Your question. In addition to Kapp and Burke, only 3 other passers have thrown 7 touchdowns in a pro game. For 10 points, name one of the 3. You have 5 seconds. 7 touchdown passes in one single game.
Y.A. Tittle?
Y.A. Tittle is correct for 10 points. Very good. Sid Luckman and George Blanda are the other 2. All right, after the first round, the Yankees have a 40-0 lead. Here's the all-important toss-up. The category, famous finishes. First, a Baseball World Series, October 5th, 1967.
Second game of the 1967 World Series at Boston. It's the top of the 8th inning. Jim Lonborg has a no-hitter going. 2 men out, Julian Javier at bat for the Cardinals. He swings a line drive, drops in there into left field, going toward the corner. It's a base hit. The no-hitter is spoiled. Javier goes into second base, standing up with a double. Lonborg doesn't let the one hit throw him. It's the top of the 9th, 2 out, still 5-0. Kurt Flood is the batter. A fly ball to the outfield. Smith comes over from center into right center field, waits for it, takes it for the out. The ball game is over. A one-hitter for Jim Lonborg, a 5-0 World Series win over the Cardinals.
That year of 1967, Jim Lonborg was named the American League's Cy Young Award winner for pitching excellence. For your toss-up question and 20 points, which one of Lonborg's teammates won the American League's most valuable, the NBA stars?
Yastrzemski.
Yastrzemski is correct. The question was, who won the American League's MVP award? It was Carl Yastrzemski. The pitching award went to Lonborg. You've earned the 2 free throws and a chance to tie the game, NBA stars. This play spelled a winning finish for one of the great football teams of its era. It's the NFL title game, 1951, the Coliseum in Los Angeles. Time running out here at the Coliseum. The Rams are tied with the Cleveland Browns at 17 apiece. Van Brocklin from the 19 sets the line and gives to Glenn Davis, sweeping to the outside at the 20, rolled out of bounds at the 22-yard line. The 1951 title game in the balance. Norm Van Brocklin back to throw. Looks left, pumps once, throws downfield. Tom Fears behind the defense. He's beaten Warren Lahr at the 50. Down the sidelines, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown Rams. They beat the Browns for the 51 title. Your question for 10 points. Both Tom Fears and Norm Van Brocklin, who collaborated on that 73-yard play, became Pro Football Hall of Famers. So did 5 other players in that particular 1951 title game. For 5 points each, name 2 of them. You have 5 seconds. Pro Football Hall of Famers in that game, the Browns and the Rams. Bill?
Elroy Hirsch.
Elroy Hirsch is correct.
Bob Waterfield.
And Bob Waterfield is correct for 10 points. The others were Andy Robustelli, the great defensive end with the Rams, and Otto Graham and Marion Motley of Cleveland. Second free throw, a chance to tie. Famous finish, boxing. The end of an era. Madison Square Garden, 1951, 8th round, Joe Louis, Rocky Marciano. Here's Marty Glickman.
Marciano trying to get that one punch home. Back against the ropes goes Louis. A left and a right, and down he goes, and through the ropes on the apron of the ring. It's all over. He can't get up. He's being helped to his feet now by referee Ruby Goldstein and Dr. Vincent Nautillo, the Gordon's ringside physician, and all of Joe's handlers are looking after the former champion now. But apart from the daze he's in, Joe is okay. Those final punches of Marciano simply did him in. It's been a fight that ends, in a sense, with overtones of sadness, for this is the end of an era. Joe Louis has come to the close of a glorious ring career. A great old boxer goes down to defeat, but a young, great fighter comes up with a victory. For Rocky Marciano, it's a never-to-be-forgotten triumph over the famed Joe Louis.
It was the end of an incredible era for Joe Louis. As a pro, Louis lost to only 2 fighters in addition to Marciano. For 5 points each, name those 2. 5 seconds. Your answer, please.
Max Smelling.
Max Smelling is correct for 5 points.
And Joe Walcott.
Joe Walcott is incorrect. So we can give you 10 points, Yankees, if you can come up with the other man who beat Joe Louis. Max Smelling did it. You saw Marciano do it. Who was the other fighter? Your answer, please.
Ezzard Charles.
Ezzard Charles is correct for 10 points. So after 2 rounds, the score reads the New York Yankees 50 and the NBA Stars 35. Another great game going, and we'll have round 3 record breakers. And a look at 2 record breakers, a horse and a jockey, right after this Sports Challenge timeout. After 2 rounds, our Sports Challenge score, the New York Yankees lead. They have 50, and our defending champion NBA Stars 35. A close game. We go to the 3rd round, the category record breakers. And we begin with a Hollywood Gold Cup race at Hollywood Park in 1971. Here's Harry Henson.
Into the stretch, it's Hakak in front by 3.5 lengths. Figonetto is second by 1 length. Manta third by a head. Comtal fourth in the field. Hakak in front. Comtal is second on the outside. Manta third and Figonetto. Hakak in front. Comtal and Manta. Hakak, Comtal, Manta, and Figonetto. And Hakak is the winner by 3.5 lengths.
A great horse and a great ride. Your toss-up question and 20 points. Who was the winning jockey aboard Hakak? Bill Sharman.
Willie Shoemaker.
Willie Shoemaker is correct. One of the all-time, if not the all-time best. You've earned the 2 free throws. You have the lead 55-50. Our next record breaker holds the all-time pro record for the most kick returns in an NFL career.
Rams' Alvin Heyman waits at the goal line. Jim Bakken sinks his right toe into it. This kickoff is long and deep, spins down to Heyman at the 2. At the 5, behind the wedge at the 10, cuts to this side at the 15-yard line. To the outside of the 20, gets a couple good blocks there at the 25 to 30. Back to the inside, 35-40. Jersey tackle, no, he gets away at the 50, 45-40. A flock of Cardinals chasing Alvin Heyman, but he's going to go all the way for a Rams touchdown.
Before coming to the Rams, Alvin Heyman played with 2 other teams in the NFL for 5 points each. Name them. The other 2 teams for whom he played.
Philadelphia Eagles is 1.
Eagles is 1. The other for 5 points.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Steelers incorrect. So for 10 points, Yankees, and that would tie the score if you can give me the name of the other team that Alvin Heyman played for.
Baltimore.
Yep. Baltimore is correct. We have a tie game. Mickey Mantle with the correct answer. A 60-60 tie, and the second free throw belongs to the NBA Stars. And now to baseball and this great record breaker.
4-3 Montreal. Bill Stoneman delivers, and Willie Mays drills it to deep left center field, and that ball is hit, and it's gone. Willie Mays home run. The Giants lead 5-4, and this is a historic trip for Mays. 1,950th time he's crossed home plate. A new National League record. Willie Mays.
For 10 points. When Willie Mays scored that 1,950th run, whose National League record did he break? You have 5 seconds.
Stanley Musial.
Stan Musial is correct for 10. We've completed 3 rounds on Sports Challenge, and the score reads the NBA Stars 70 and the New York Yankees 60. 4th round toss-up question. This category is consecutive streaks, and our first streak belongs to a man who has a rather slanted approach.
The Chiefs trying a 52-yard field goal. Jan Stenerud delivers. The ball is up high enough. It's long enough. If it's good, it's a record. It is a new record for Stenerud.
Stenerud's 13th consecutive successful field goal. 13 in a row for Stenerud. A new pro football record. For your toss-up question worth 20 points. Whose record did he break? Whitey Ford.
Lou Groza.
Lou Groza is correct for 20 points. Lou the Toe. He hit 12 in a row in 1953, and in the entire season, to show you how good Groza was, he kicked 26 field goals and missed only 3 times. Lou Groza correct. The 2 free throws go to the Yankees. Here's a 2-game consecutive streak that became an all-time first in the baseball record books.
Perry of the Giants needs 1 more strike to get a no-hitter. Flood takes it. It's strike 3 and no-hitter for Gaylord Perry. A 1-0 win over St. Louis here at San Francisco on September 17th, 1968. A date to remember, and you can't top that. Gaylord Perry. But it's daytime the next afternoon, September 18th. You guessed it, Ray Washburn of the Cardinals 1 out away from another no-hitter. Here's McCovey at bat. A pop fly back of second base into short right center field. He's got it, a no-hitter for Ray Washburn. These 2 teams have played 2 no-hit games within 20 hours of time at Candlestick Park. 1-0 Perry, 2-0 Washburn.
On that topic, and let's see, Whitey, you never had the no-hitter, did you?
Never, no,
Never had
not
one.
even in Little League.
And Allie Reynolds, you not only got 1, but you got 2 in the same year. 1951?
Right.
1951. He got 2 that year. That had to be more than fun. Well, we'll stay with that topic. No hitters for 10 points. Which the following has not pitched a perfect game? They've all pitched no-hitters. We want the man who has not pitched a perfect no-hitter. Alphabetically: Jim Bunning, Catfish Hunter, Sandy Koufax, Don Larson, Bill Singer. You have 5 seconds.
Catfish Hunter.
Catfish Hunter is incorrect. We double the point total, which would give you the lead, NBA stars. Is it Jim Bunning, Catfish Hunter, Sandy Koufax, Don Larson, or Bill Singer, who did not pitch the perfect no-hit, no-run game? You have 5 seconds.
Sandy Koufax?
Sandy Koufax did pitch one. That's incorrect. The man who did not pitch a perfecto was Bill Singer. Bill Singer was the correct answer. The second free throw belongs to the Yankees. They still have a slim lead. A consecutive streak that really changed the complexion of a key World Series game. Watch closely now.
Yankee skipper Casey Stengel to the mound. That'll be all for Eddie Lopez. He's given up 7 hits and 4 runs here in the Dodgers' 6th inning, and the Dodgers have pulled to within 2, 6-4. The Chief, Allie Reynolds, out of the bullpen to try to put out the fire. Bert Schotten has called upon Spider Jorgensen to hit for Carl Erskine. Big crowd here at Ebbets Field rooting for the Dodgers as Allie Reynolds goes into the windup, the pitch. Check swing, strike 3. Reynolds has gotten the Dodgers here in the 6th inning. They settle for 4, and the score remains 6-4. In the 9th inning, 1 out. Reynolds has retired 8 straight men. Here's Gene Hermansky. The 2-strike pitch by Reynolds. Got him swinging. Hermansky is out, and the Dodgers down to their final out, trailing 6-4. Dick Whitman batting for Jack Banta. Reynolds pitch. He got him swinging. Strike 3. The ball game is over. The Yankees take a 3-1 lead in the 49 series. Dr. Bobby Brown, Tommy Henrich, Joe Coleman, Joe Rizzuto congratulate the Chief. He's won it for the Yanks.
Reynolds' pitching performance was masterful that day, and in the series, in fact, he gave up no runs in a total of 12 1/3 innings pitched. A teammate of Reynolds holds the all-time Yankee club record for least strikeouts as a hitter for a full season. He struck out only 12 times. For 10 points, a former teammate who holds that record, or a former Yankee. You've got 5 seconds.
You sure he was a teammate of his?
I'm saying it was a Yankee. He was a Yankee. Time's up for 20 points, NBA stars. What man holds the Yankee record for the least time striking out in the season? Only 12. 5 seconds.
I'd say Bobby Richardson.
Bobby Richardson is incorrect. I couldn't believe it either. Yogi Berra struck out only 12 times in 1950. Whitey Ford knew the answer.
Whitey's sitting here yelling Yogi Berra to us.
And you kept shaking him off like a good
kept saying Richardson.
All right. We've completed 4 rounds and a great game on Sports Challenge. The score reads the Yankees 80, the NBA Stars 70. We're very pleased, fans, to let you know that all our panelists will receive this brand new Mattel Sports Challenge Instant Replay Quiz game to enjoy at home with your kids. I know they'll have fun. And moment, our big bonus biography round right after we pause for this Sports Challenge timeout.
Haas tomorrow.
Again, a great game on Sports Challenge. The score very close. The Yankees lead 80-70 over the NBA All-Stars. And for 90 points, time now for our bonus biography round. And with the clues, here's Johnny.
Our bonus biography superstar is enshrined in the Hall of Fame of his sport. His splendid career spanned 4 decades from 1930 to 1960. His first big league manager is now president of the American League.
Stop the NBA All-Stars. Your answer, please.
Ted Williams.
Ted Williams is correct, and the NBA All-Stars have won again. And here he is, the splendid splinter, Ted Williams. It was great to see you again, Ted. I'm afraid that you're a little easy, that as a mystery guest that you would be identified very quickly. Ted Williams is known as one of the all-time great hitters. But Ted Williams was also a major league pitcher once.
Well, now, that was a long time ago. We were playing the Tigers, and we had a doubleheader going, and they were really shellacking us the first game. And because we were a little short of pitchers, why, I heard Joe Cronin say, who will we pitch the rest of this game? And I nudged one of the coaches, and I said, let me pitch. So I got my opportunity. I can't say that I was so hot, but my only claim to fame as a pitcher is that I finally got the bases loaded, and I got Rudy York with 2 strikes, and I come sidearm with my best curveball, and He still claims to this day that I quick pitched him. But I got it over, and he took it, and it was strike 3.
That was Ted Williams, the pitcher. When? Was that 1939?
1940.
1940.
Yeah.
And your biggest thrill, along with hitting a home run in your last game as a big leaguer?
Well, I hit a home run in the All-Star game in 1941, and that was just at the right time of a fellow's career, you know, and everything. He felt that was the biggest thing he'd ever done in his life, and that home run to me was the biggest thrill I ever got.
Now the manager of the Washington Senators, and he looks good enough. If you'd like to stay with the Angels, we could use a good cleanup, man. Ted, thank you for visiting.
I just want to tell you, there's 3 guys over there that didn't make my life any better.
All right, go over and meet them. They didn't make his life any easier, nor any other hitters. Ted Williams, one of the all-time baseball greats. And fans, in a moment, Johnny Gilbert will tell you about all our winners and about next week's challengers. First, this Sports Challenge timeout. You know, thinking back on one of our Sports Challenge shows, we had a film of Bill Sharman where he was throwing a pass to Bill Cousy the full length of the court, and it went through the hoop. He admitted it was a pass, but it went through for 2 points. That was the kind of shot he just made, getting Ted Williams to rally the NBA Stars to win their second game, 144-80 over the New York Yankees. And to run down the official scoring, here's Johnny Gilbert.
Well, Dick, it's true. The Basketball Hall of Famers, with a total of 144 points, are again the winners of this sports challenge. And the Boys Club of Manatee County from Bradenton, Florida, for whom they were playing, will receive $1,000 worth of AMF Void athletic equipment. There are no losers on Sports Challenge. The 68th Precinct Youth Council of Brooklyn, New York, whom the New York Yankees represented, will receive $500 worth of Void athletic equipment from Sports Challenge. And by the way, if you have a junior athletic organization you would like to see represented, drop a line to Sports Challenge, 5800 Sunset Boulevard, Hollywood, California. Since the NBA Hall of Famers won again this week, they will return next week. And Dick, who's going to be here to challenge them?
Well, next week, the challengers will be a team of all-time great New York. You're going to see the New Yorkers again, New York football giants, Frank Gifford, Kyle Roden, Charlie Connerly. They'll join our champions, the NBA stars, yours truly, Dick Amber. We'll see you again next week on the Sports Challenge.